it's Manchu. Welcome back to Minecraft Bedrock vs. Java, where I play through both versions of the game and compare them. Last time I made a gold farm in Bedrock Edition, and I said I was going to make a gold farm in Java Edition, and that's my intention for today. But I'm starting out here in my Bedrock Edition world, over at my Blaze farm. Some time ago, like multiple videos ago, I made a hole in the nether roof and got up to the nether ceiling, which is all bedrock. I showed how you could do that in both Bedrock Edition and Java Edition, and I explained that there's really not much point in doing that in Bedrock Edition because you can't place blocks up there. But I actually ended up finding a use for going up there. This Blaze farm is forever and far away from my main base in the nether, and just running here took me like 10 minutes. But what I did was, you see I have a compass here, and it's keyed to a lodestone that I have set up right next to my nether portal at my base in the nether, so that it always points toward it. I found that lodestone, I think, in a bastion, when I was raiding a bastion. I made here another lodestone, and I got another compass, which is labeled Blaze Farm. This compass points at that lodestone. So if I want to, I just made another hole up to the nether ceiling up here. So if I want to travel here from my nether hub, I use this Blaze Farm compass and I just fly across the roof of the nether to get to this. And if I want to get back from here to my nether hub, I just have one compass out so it doesn't confuse things. There. I just follow this compass flying along the nether roof, and I can get there in a fraction of the time that it would take me to run through the path that I made. Now, lodestones are not cheap to make. One of the ingredients you need is a netherite ingot, so that's not easy to come by, but I happen to have a bunch of extra netherite ingots, so it wasn't that difficult for me to do. There we are. A trip that would in the past have taken me more than 10 minutes. I got there in 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, so I actually found a use for getting above the roof of the nether in Bedrock Edition. Now let me get to making the gold farm in Java Edition. Okay, now here I am above the nether ceiling in the Java Edition world, and you can tell it's a Java Edition world because I've actually placed slabs here. I've put down these shulker boxes here. I can definitely place blocks up here, and that's something I'm going to take advantage of for this gold farm I'm going to build. One of the keys to any kind of mob farm is you want to control where the mobs can spawn and what kind of mobs can spawn. And the nice thing about being up here above the roof of the nether is nothing can spawn on bedrock. So any platform that I build up here is the only place above the ceiling of the nether where mobs can spawn. Now I'm going to make a series of 8 platforms out of magma blocks, and they're going to be 25 blocks by 25 blocks, so that's going to require actually 3 shulker boxes full of magma blocks. Magma blocks have a number of interesting properties. Not many things can spawn on magma blocks. One of the few things that can are zombie piglins, so that's great. That's why I want to use these for the spawning platforms. Another problem that they have is if you walk on them, yeah, you take damage from walking on them. Although admittedly, because I have really good armor, I'm not taking a lot of damage, but eventually I take some damage. You can avoid that damage by crouching. That's one way to avoid taking damage from being on these magma blocks. I could also drink a potion of fire resistance and avoid the damage that way. Or I could wear boots, and I think I brought some here, with the Frostwalker enchantment on them. I think I found these boots in an end city that I raided, and I thought, ooh, I gotta hold on to these. Because you can see I can walk on these magma blocks now with these enchanted Frostwalker boots, and I don't take any damage. So while I build these platforms, I'll be using that. The design I'm going to use is inspired by LogicalGeekBoy. If I can find it, I'll try to put a link to his video making a build just like this or very similar to it. I like it for its simplicity. It's not too complicated, not a lot of moving parts in it. Another consideration for where I build these platforms is I need them to be in the right kind of biome. I've marked out an area here that's 25 blocks by 25 blocks. That is, if I turn on the debug screen here, I am in a nether waste biome. If I stray too far outside of this area, I'll start to get into a Soul Sand Valley biome. I can't remember which direction it's in. Maybe it's over here. Yeah, here I'm in Soul Sand Valley. If I was to build the spawning platforms in Soul Sand Valley, I'd be out of luck, because zombified piglins don't spawn in a Soul Sand Valley. So I made sure to use the debug menu to mark out an area where it is nether waste, so I will be able to spawn zombified piglins. And I'm going to start from this pot in the center. Now I think I'll start a time-lapse video of building this farm, and then after the time-lapse I'll come back and give you a tour of it and show you how it works. Okay, it's done. I have been here AFK for about 10 minutes or so at my little AFK spot. I am currently at Y256, and the reason I'm up here is because unless you're using a very small render distance, like a render distance of 4 for a public server, anything bigger than that, the range at which mobs will spawn next to the player is between 23 blocks away and 128 blocks away. What's 128 blocks straight down from where I am? Y128. Y128 is where the bedrock ceiling of the nether is. So nothing underneath the ceiling of the nether is in range to have mobs spawn in. And the only spawnable spaces above the nether ceiling is where my farm is. So this is the ideal place to sit AFK. Now, I can give you the nickel tour of this place. If I fly down here to this first level, you can see I put these rows of glass here with 2 blocks open space between them. This is to prevent gas from spawning in. Otherwise, they might spawn in above this upper platform. So this is here to prevent the gas from spawning in. Now, in this spawning area below, you know, in my general purpose mob farm, when I saw chicken meat, I didn't know what the heck that was about. It turns out that's zombie chicken jockey. I think that's what that was, a zombie chicken jockey. I didn't know there was such a thing as a zombified piglin chicken jockey, but anyway, I digress. I guess there must be. You can see here I have a turtle egg. That's the bait. A lot of different hostile mobs, including any kind of zombie, regular zombies, husks, drowned, or zombified piglins, if they see a turtle egg, they'll try to run over to it and jump up and down on it and stomp it. So we have a turtle egg here, and there's one like this on each platform, and trapdoors here that fool the zombified piglins into thinking they can get over to it and jump up and down on it and crush it, and they run right into the pit and right down to the hoppers down there where they falter to death. Now, originally, I built this glass ceiling first and then started building the platforms underneath, but I only had 2 blocks of clearance between each platform, and that didn't work. The zombified piglins, the ziglins, need at least 3 spaces of clearance. They have to have clearance over the head so they can jump up and down. Otherwise, they won't be attracted to the turtle egg because they won't think they can stomp up and down on it because they don't have enough head space to jump up and down. So I had to rebuild the upper couple levels to give them enough head clearance. So the way this is set up, I'm only going to have ziglins spawning in and occasionally some magma cubes. Not much I can do about that. There won't be too many of those, but I might see a few. Now if I fly down here, yep, there's a magma cube right there. It's unfortunate, but they're, like I say, there's not much I can do about those. Hopefully I don't have any drop on my head while I'm down here. And after 10 minutes, we're getting quite a few gold nuggets and rotten flesh. And, you know, they're killed by fall damage instead of killed by player, so I'm not getting any other kinds of special drops. I'm not getting golden ingots, I'm not getting any golden swords, so I don't really need any kind of special sorter. So that's it. That's the gold farm in Java Edition. Much different from the Bedrock Edition 1. And in theory, you could probably build something like this in Bedrock Edition, but it couldn't be above the nether ceiling. So you'd have to end up spawn-proofing a huge area of the nether in order to make where your farm is the only place that anything can spawn in. It would just be a nightmare. It would not be practical to do that. If you made it this far in the video, you probably like what you saw, so click on the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to my channel. Next time, you know, I think I've done about everything I needed to do. I've accomplished everything I wanted to do, except for one thing: fight the Wither. And my plan is next time, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fight the Wither in both Bedrock Edition and Java Edition. I've never fought the Wither in Java Edition, so I don't know what it's going to be like. I have a feeling, based on what everybody says, it's a lot easier in Java Edition. But we'll find out next time on Amon Chooses Minecraft, Java versus Bedrock.